behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another great interview coming up for you shortly. But don't forget about the subscribe button and the bell below you there. And check the description. You'll have all the contact info you need there. And also leave a comment on the comment section if you'd like. From Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada today, for a third time on our show, we have Peter Tam with us. And he's going to be updating us on some stuff, so I know you want to stick around for that. But before, here's a quick word from Galtar, the guitar made specifically for women. So don't go away, we'll be right back right after this.
Ready in 5.
Darling, when nothing else seems to match up. Galtar, the musical apparel that fits any outfit. Galtar, bringing heaven to earth, one gal at a time. GaltarHeaven.com.
All right, we're back, and with us for a third time on our show from Vancouver, Canada, we have Peter Tam with us again. Thanks for coming back, Peter.
Well, thanks for having me again, Paul. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back. So a lot has been happening probably since you were on the show last time. What's it been, like a year or two or something like that? But tell us a little bit about some of the updates that's been going on with you since you were on last time.
Wrote some new songs. I guess that's why I'm here for, right? Writing songs. I've also been composing too. Like I don't know if last time I mentioned about an opera I was working on. So that's still continuing. More operas to come. As a matter of fact, the artistic director wants me to perform in it. So looks like I'm gonna write my own part in my own opera.
Oh,
and sing in it. So I don't know how it's gonna work, Mike. Because like last time, I was just in the background. I was playing an instrument. Yeah, I think it will be all worked out. So it'll be a really nice story. It's called The Awakening, and it's slotted for 2025. So I haven't done anything yet. I'm still waiting for the final script, but it's going to be very exciting. But aside from that, right now I just set that aside and concentrate on working on a few more original songs. The video I sent you was starting to become, doing more rock and pop and rockish type of music, because it's just I don't know. I think I am, bringing some jazz. I have all these jazz melodies and chords and composition inside, where I can, if I kind of put it together with a little bit of rock, I'm trying to create something new. And that's what I'm been trying to do.
Well, that sounds like pretty good. And that opera thing, it sounds pretty amazing. And you said it won't be out until maybe next year?
Yeah, there's the opera company that I was doing the work for is possibly going on a tour this year. So I'll be touring with them. But the new show is slotted for 2025. Yeah.
Okay. Well, as far as that goes, in the current years, are you going to be doing any shows so people in Vancouver might want to check you out at, or?
Yeah, I do. I'm doing lots and lots of shows. Do you know that last year I was counting up the number of shows I did last year? I did 182 shows.
Wow.
yeah, out of 365 days. So half the time during last year I was playing. And in the month of December, I did 28 shows in 31 days. So, including Christmas Day, I was working. And that was really good. I met a guitar player, and he's a really talented guy, and I'm gonna be creating a couple of shows, with him and Chris, the bass player. So I'm starting to gel with a band. The four of us is making up a band. We have the first show slotted for February the 10th at the Crescent Beach Legion. So this will be the first time that we're gonna play together, and I'm gonna be mixing some of the traditional jazz song and putting a rock beat to it, and taking some of my own original that is becoming a little bit more rock, pop rock, I guess. It's not hard heavy or anything like that, but with a good dancing beat. I think that's what I'm trying to do. Mix songs that are more in line in terms of things that people can dance to, and be a little bit more having some fun with it.
Okay, well, where can we find out the dates that you're going to be at? Or is it on your Facebook page? Yeah, I guess you have an official site too, I think.
Yeah, my website, petertam.ca, and everything, all my events are on there. The next show is on the 19th at Lulu Island Winery, and then after that, I'm at the Lulu Island a few times, second floor Gas Town a few times. So it's on my website. Have to go there. I can't even remember exactly when I'm doing those. And then our band's playing on the 10th, and a whole bunch of possibility. I'm kind of like, because I have this Piano Man show going too. That's Elton John, Billy Joel tribute, and again, it's the same group of people. Like I'm actually playing. I have a group of musicians now there that's playing both my original jazzy rock songs, as well as Piano Man, Billy Joel. So there's a little bit of crossover because some of the jazzy rock stuff, it's also include Billy Joel and Elton John. So I guess it's the same people. They don't have to learn new songs. We can just, so everybody kind of knows all the same songs, that we can just pretty effectively, we can just look at the different type of venue, because some of the venues are more tribute bands oriented and people want to hear just Billy Joel, Elton John, and where you go, we'll just play those songs. Or if people are interested in hearing something more original, and again, can do the same thing. And if you have a few number other musicians too, like a saxophonist and trumpet player and all that can just come in, that I've also been playing with, that can come in and complement the whole band. So the band is becoming almost like a mechanism on its own that can contract and expand. They can even go all the way down to like a trio. We can cover like all the same songs as a trio, or we can expand to like 6-7 piece type of big band. Depends on the stage and the size of the concert. So it's becoming, I guess the way I'm doing things is that in this business, you want to be just like any business, you need to kind of make it efficient and make it doing things effectively, so you don't spend a whole lot of time practicing with a whole bunch of different people over and over again. So this way, I think it's I'm just trying to make the business run efficiently, and I think it's working. That's what's I'm hoping, at least, anyway.
Okay. Well, to remind everybody, I think you have all your stuff on streaming, right? Or where can we find your music other than that? I mean, I'm sure. I think I remember you saying you had CDs before. I think.
No, I have an album, the actual vinyl,
Mm-hmm.
and everything's on Spotify. Um, and the last time I checked, I think I have 7,000 listener a month.
Oh.
Yeah, 7,000 listener a month. The songs, I think I got some sort of the numbers stream last year somewhere around 250,000, quarter million streams of my songs on Spotify last year. So I mean, it's not a whole lot. I just got a paycheck at the end of the year. I think it was like $70. Quarter million stream. I got $70.
That's amazing how that works out that way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, just like this is the whole new way of how the industry works. You gotta have to play, do the live shows, the merchandise, the my vinyl album sales, and mostly just live show. And I enjoy doing that too. Getting out there, and now every live show, I try something new. So now I'm using a grand piano. It's a shell, so it fits in my car, but everything comes together. It looks like a grand piano, and I have neon lights in it, so it lights up. It's part of the show. And today I just bought a new toy. Like, it's a guitar. Like you can stand up dancing around. It's all on wireless now. I just got it all fixed up, so I'll be able to play this like a guitar wirelessly, just dancing around and just doing some solos and we'll see how that works. So this is a new addition. This came in today, and I'm starting to understand how the show part. It's not so much how well, like I'm not trying to compete with the concert pianists where some people are so talented. Like my fingers just doesn't work that fast. But it's to make the show more enjoyable for the audience. I try to do things that'll do more, like having a keyboard like that, and where I can stand up and sing and play, and sometimes I sit down. My piano looks like a grand piano. So the whole stage setting, the lighting, the guys where it goes. I'm starting to get all those things, together, and I think it's finally throughout all the years, throughout last year, I think, playing all these shows, and I'm starting to figure out what works and what doesn't work. So yeah, and there's no shortcut. I mean, the bottom line is you gotta have to go out there and just do the show. You gotta put in the time, do the show, and as I'm doing them, I figure out what works and what makes it interesting, and so that's how I develop all these extra tools to help the show run more in a more interesting way, visually, so people see you doing things. That's why people go to a show. Otherwise, they can just listen to you on listen to recordings, right? Mm-hmm. They want to go see you live because you're doing something different. You're creating a visual, and it's a whole show. It's a whole theatrical things. That's why bands like the Kiss and so many, Elton John, it's all theatrical. So yeah.
Okay, well, tell us about this video we're about to watch. You're Never Too Old to Rock and Roll, I think it's called. I'm sure it's self-explanatory, but go ahead and tell us about the song there.
Okay, well, do you know how old I am, Paul? Take a guess.
I don't know. I don't know, 65 maybe. I don't know.
Well, you're pretty close.
Mm,
Yeah, 63.
mm.
So, that's really good. um, that's why I wrote that song was because a lot of us, because I'm just getting into this music career in the last 3 years, whereas a lot of guys has been in it for like 50 years or 40 years or something like that. It's been all their life. They're professional. Um, they've been at it for such a long time, and I'm just getting into it. So, for me, I am kind of wondering, what am I doing? I'm almost like retirement age, and I'm getting into a new career, and at the same time, I'm seeing a lot of younger people out there, and hustling, and I'm doing the same thing. It's just like going to going to university now. Like all your classmates and everybody else is like 20 years old, and here you are, 60 something.
Mm.
So that's why I wrote that song, Never Too Old. But when I looked at guys like Keith Richard and Mick Jagger and all these guys, they're in their 60s, 70s, 80 years old and still out there doing it. It inspires me. So I look towards that, and I think to myself that I still have maybe 20 years to do this. I can do it. So yeah, because it takes time. Because I know that when you're 20 years old, you can get out there and you can hustle, and you have a few years to get yourself known and work the industry and all that type of thing. So one of the things that I have to do is shorten up that timeline because, I need to get things done quicker before I croak. So Never Too Old to Rock and Roll is inspired by just looking at these guys they're still doing it. And I don't know if it's just maybe people living longer these days, but I just see a lot more because when I was younger, I never really when I see older guys, white hair and the old guys playing rock and roll, it looks kind of weird. And I never even seen it. Everybody's young. So, but now it seems to be different. There is a market. People seem to be more accepting of the seniors playing rock, and especially rock. We're just like I wouldn't be able to do the things like pop or rap or anything like that, but rock, I think it's acceptable. You could be 80 years old and you can still be rocking it, and it is acceptable out there now in in the market. So so that's where that song comes from. That's all inspired by these older guys. And the bottom line is music is in your blood, it's in your soul. So it's never too old to rock and roll.
Okay, well, I figured it was self-explanatory. So, and we'll begin to that video in just a moment, but I think we're about out of time, Peter, again. But thank you so much for coming back. Come back anytime you'd like to, and maybe we'll have you back on again.
Okay, Paul. Thanks again, and yeah, thanks for having me. Just give me a ding later on, or if I have something major happening. It's at this point, there's mostly tour shows, recording. Just keep going and going, and I don't know. I'll let you know if I win a Grammy or something.
Okay. All right. Well, here it is, Never Too Old to Rock and Roll by Peter Tam, and it begins right now.
Okay. Bye.
our favorite song. We can move